The Minnesota Vikings may be the most surprisingly great team of the 2024 NFL season. Not only has their defense been playing lights out, offensively with the loss of J.J. McCarthy during the preseason, Sam Darnold has filled in and has legitimately played MVP caliber football. And honestly, I know I'm not the only one that believes the Vikings are Super Bowl contenders. But before I get too carried away, how on earth did we get here? Of all 32 teams, there are two left undefeated, the Chiefs and the Vikings. The back-to-back champion Chiefs are fighting for their lives in their wins, and the Vikings are, well, for the lack of a better term, beating the brakes off these teams. The offense, the defense, and coaching are so incredibly locked in. With JJ getting injured in the preseason, the expectations people had for the Vikings were lowered. With what we had seen of Sam Darnold in his career prior to the season, it wasn't anything to write home about, so obviously no one was expecting all this to happen. Offensively, Kevin O'Connell is calling games just about as good as any play caller could. He's giving Darnold the answers and he's executing, as after 4, Sam has totals of 932 yards, 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions with 118.9 passer rating, with the touchdowns and passer rating ranking first in the NFL. And with Aaron Jones this year rather than Alexander Madison and Cam Akers, the run game is much improved, and he's proving his value, being able to catch out of the backfield and never wavering in his effort and fighting for extra yards on every play. And the O-line is holding up pretty well in the pass game against good pass rushing teams and are being physical in the run game. And obviously Justin being Justin, without as much volume as before, but he's still making a massive mark on the game. But it can't go unmentioned how big Jalen Nailor has been in the absence of Jordan Addison. Being a touchdown machine and having one of the highest passer ratings when targeted among receivers, and with Jordan being back and the eventual return of TJ Hawkinson, who knows how much better they could get. But what we need to see is Sam in a high pressure situation. Sure, we've seen his great moments plastered all over social media, but he still has a few head-scratching plays every now and then. But it's not killing the team as every phase of the game is clicking. But how good does he look when playing from behind? Who knows whether this is a case of a Kevin O'Connell offense making him look good or not. If Sam continues this MVP level play, where does this leave JJ? Seeing Sam is only currently 27, which is the same age as Lamar, Kyler Murray, and Joe Burrow, yet when people speak on him, it's generally of someone much older. So if Sam continues this excellent play for the rest of the year and beyond, there's plenty of years you can have him as QB1. And it gives you the option to have JJ sit behind him and learn, but also if he's good enough to be brought back, then obviously his market would demand much more money, similar to what happened with Baker, so you could even explore trade options for him. And this is an incredibly good problem to have. Brian Flores has the defense playing incredibly high-level disruptive football. Daniel Jones, Brock Purdy, CJ Stroud and Jordan Love, 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and a 4-0 record. Coming out of the offseason, GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah completely overhauled the defense. With the losses of Danielle Hunter and Jordan Hicks, naturally, with the money the Vikings had, you'd want to replace your best pass rusher and a quality linebacker with people of similar talents, which they did in bringing in Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel. And on top of that, rounding out the rest of the defense was Stephon Gilmore, Shaq Griffin, Jerry Tillery, Blake Cashman, and first-round pick Dallas Turner. With all these new additions and players that fit his scheme more than the previous year, Flores is able to execute a lot more of the different concepts and packages that he loves to call, which often involves 3 safeties and using deceptive blitz looks while having the linebackers and safeties back out of the blitz and go on a soft coverage. With this defense being reliant on pre-snap deception, having faced a group of young quarterbacks definitely played to their advantage, as it forces quick post-snap processing, and as these QBs are still learning, it forces them to have to adjust and forces slow starts to the game, and even some adjustments to the play calling for the opposing offense. Is this sustainable? Who knows, as this defense forces rapid adjustments by the offense with all these different shifts and coverage, and with the pre-snap alignments, it comes down to Flores and the opposing offensive coordinator trying to outsmart each other. And while Flores has gotten the upper hand so far, all we can do is watch Flores throw everything at the offenses and see how they adjust. Who knows how far they can take this season, but with the way everything is clicking, offensively and defensively, and in comparison to the Viking teams of the past, maybe the most important stat to look at is the point differential being plus 55. They aren't getting into a slugfest and struggling, and with how comfortably they've been beating these very good teams and the Giants, it's not hard to say that the Vikings are absolutely Super Bowl contenders.